Welcome to Fireside Yankees. My name is Alex Wilson, a new host on the channel and the owner of Empire Sports Media. So I wanted to dabble with the Yankees. I read a lot about the team, and I figured why not get my face in front of the camera and give you guys some insight into what I'm thinking about, and hopefully you guys find it interesting. And obviously the Yankees off to a red hot start, beating Boston twice. I've been a Yankees fan since I was born. Basically, grew up playing Little League baseball, going to Yankees games with my dad, and I have to say, this team. Now, I don't always agree with what Brian Cashman does or what he says. I do love this team no matter what. And I think that they have some amazing players, as we've seen. I am definitely skeptical about the starting rotation, but the bullpen looks phenomenal. I wanted to dive into three big positives that the Yankees have shown over the first couple of games, and beating Boston, always awesome. I freaking love beating Boston, especially after the wild card last year. Them beating us in Fenway. I really think that, we have the capacity and the capability to take them down. And I really want to see the Yankees put together a strong season without long periods of deficient play. Whether that means the Yankees going out and trading for some guys at the deadline, to maybe supplement some injuries or deficiencies. I think that probably will be something that Cashman looks to do. Of course, Aaron Judge not signing his big extension is definitely a bit disappointing, but I will say the start of the season's been red hot, been awesome to watch. Garrett Cole, despite that one bad outing, one bad inning, and he blamed it on the 4-minute extra delay, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know. I guess it has to be some sort of like your arms warmed up, and then maybe that 4 minutes, that cool down could be the difference. And he ended up getting a 2-run homer, 3 runs in that first inning. And then he was lights out after that. So I think he has something, going there, some reasoning or justification for why they kind of needed him to be starting on time. But the last two games have really said a lot about this team so far, and I really want to talk about the three positives. I'm really positive guy, so I'm going to try to be objective as well when the Yankees are struggling, but definitely want to focus on some positives since they are doing pretty well to start the regular season. The first one is the bullpen. The Yankees entering this season, the bullpen was their strength. Last year it was a strength. They used 6 relievers on Saturday against Boston, throwing 6 no-hit innings and holding their opponents to just 2 runs after Luis Severino was pulled after the 3rd inning. Now, what makes me so excited about the bullpen is that without Zach Britton, who's expected to basically miss virtually the entire 2022 season, they brought up some young guys. Ron Marinaccio from Toms River, New Jersey, a local guy. He kicked some ass, and he looked awesome. And I really wanted to see what he could do. They put him in a pretty high leverage situation. He had over 100 friends and family at the game, and he looked awesome. He had 2 strikeouts. He allowed a walk, and Anthony Rizzo, Kyle Higashioka came up to him and said, "You know what, man? Calm down. You're good." They started utilizing his slider. A nice play by Gleyber Torres at second base to get the advancing runner. Struck out 2 guys. What else can you ask for? I think that Marinaccio could be kind of a secret weapon the Yankees do utilize. Right-handed thrower, has some nice out-swerving slider action, which is interesting. You don't really see that very often. But he's got some nice pitches to utilize. Not the fastest velocity guy, but he's young, 26 years old, first MLB action, and he did some really good stuff there. Of course, Aaron Boone did mention that the bullpen was one of their strengths and something that they are going to rely upon a lot in that first opening day win. In 11 innings, they used a ton of relief pitchers. So they'd like their starters to go a little bit more. I think that's going to be something that we talk about a lot because the starting rotation is a bit concerning. And I do think that they should have done something this offseason to address it, whether it was free agency or going after Sean Manaea from the Oakland Athletics. There is reason to believe that they're going to struggle. Luis Severino, though, that's the number 2 big positive that I want to discuss. He threw 65 pitches over 3 innings, which is a lot. We really got to see that number decrease, and I think we will. This is his first action really in 3 years. He has 18 innings of action previously over the past 3 years combined, and then 3 innings against the Boston Red Sox, of course. He looked pretty sharp at some points. That second inning, he got batted around a little bit. Basically just the Alex Verdugo 2-run blast after he walked the man before him. So I think that, when you're looking at his overall performance, he had 2 really strong innings. And then, of course, he had that 1 second inning where he gave up the home run, the 2-run home run. He gave up 5 hits in total. I think he did strike out 5 batters as well. So that showcased that he is capable of striking out guys like he used to do in 2018 when he was an absolute beast. But what is the most exciting part about Luis Severino? The guy hit triple digits with his fastball. We're talking about a guy that's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. He's had a ton of rehabilitation. For him to be throwing 100 miles an hour, averaging out at about 98 miles per hour with his fastball is absolutely phenomenal. That is a lot of the reason why I guess management is very high on him right now to be the number 2 behind Garrett Cole. However, the injury history, that scares the shit out of me. I mean, can you really depend on Luis Severino to be that number 2 guy the whole season? I, for one, am concerned. He had general soreness during the spring. They shut him down for a couple days. He went out and threw 31 pitches, and he looked good in bullpen sessions. But I think that for the most part, I do not think that relying on him as a number 2 is the best, most efficient move that the Yankees can make. I'm pretty pissed off they didn't go out and get another starting pitcher. But if he remains healthy, I think he can be that guy that they hope he could, back in 2018, 2019 when he got injured then. So hopefully he's able to remain healthy. If he is, the Yankees definitely are in a good spot. But for now, I'm still pessimistic, or rather just cautious about him. And I don't want to overdo it. They got to give him the necessary rest, and I expect that they will do that. But the bullpen obviously supplemented a lot. He only lasted 3 innings at 65 pitches. They want to eventually get him up to the 85, 90 pitch mark, but it's going to take time, of course. Now, the second biggest positive, and this is the Yankees' MO. It's their mantra. It's their strategy offensively. They are a home run hitting, heavy slugging team. Now, we all know this. I do like what Cashman did in terms of going out and getting some contact hitters. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he is a contact guy. I think he hit almost .280 last year, and he's not a big home run guy, but he's going to get on base. He's a good base runner. He's quick, athletic. He has not looked that great over the last 2 games. He had an error yesterday against Boston, and he, of course, has not recorded a hit yet over, I think, 6 or 7 at bats. So that's definitely a bit concerning. But I think give the guy some time. People are already jumping at this guy's neck. Give him some time. He's in a new stadium, a new feel. There's a lot of expectation when it comes to Yankees, Yankee fans specifically. We all know that. We are not the easiest bunch, but I do want to give him some time to prove that he is a good player, and I know he is. And I do like the idea of having some more contact hitting at the back end of the order. He's the number 9 hitter, and then you have Josh Donaldson as the number 1 leadoff guy who is a power hitter. So I do like that idea. I do like DJ LeMahieu in that 5th spot. I think it's very underrated what they've done with DJ LeMahieu and really changing the strategy of where he's playing. They're kind of utilizing him across the board. He played on the hot corner yesterday. Obviously, second base, he's capable of playing first base. He can be a DH. He can do whatever you need in the infield specifically. So I do love that they kind of utilizing him behind Giancarlo Stanton. And then they have a contact guy in IKF in the 9 slot. So really interesting there. I do like that. But the slugging has been tremendous. And 2 guys come to mind immediately. Giancarlo Stanton and Anthony Rizzo. Both of those guys hitting 2 home runs in the first 2 games. Rizzo's have been absolutely perfectly timed, clutch moments. Really after the Yankees have given up a couple runs with Garrett Cole, Anthony Rizzo launches a 2-run blast right after. And then Severino, 2 innings later, Anthony Rizzo, 2-run blast, absolute stud so far this season. And he's a leader too, guys. Anthony Rizzo has proven to me he can be a leader. He can be someone that, goes up to those young pitchers like Ron Marinaccio and says, hey, man, take a breath. It's all going to be good. And he goes out and he kicks some ass. And Anthony Rizzo's like, you know what? Some of these young guys, all they need is a little bit of help, a little bit of, condolence and some nice words to get them going. And I think that leadership is invaluable. Of course, the Yankees did miss out on Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson, but Anthony Rizzo was a great guy to just lean on. And a $32 million deal over 2 years. So definitely not breaking the bank. They would have dropped double that for Freddie Freeman at least. And Matt Olson obviously is on a rookie contract. He has 1 more year of team control before he hits free agency, and then he'll be making a ton of money. But Rizzo still very, very efficient. Giancarlo Stanton did strike out a bunch, but that line drive homer in the to right field in the first game, and then yesterday that bomb, that freaking hanging changeup just absolutely demolished. A hanging curveball demolished it into the left center field. He looked absolutely awesome. That was the difference between the game. They won the game because of that home run. And, I think it was right after the Aaron Judge walk. So those sluggers, they're getting patient. Judge, obviously, I don't even think Judge is like a big strikeout guy anymore. He really is showing that he can be a good patient hitter. And he can get on base too with singles, doubles, whatever it might be. Good contact guy too. Obviously the home runs will come. Hasn't hit one yet this year. So definitely nothing to be concerned about at all. But the slugging has been great. The offense looks good. They've come in clutch, which is something that last year we didn't see very much with the Yankees. Their sluggers, kind of went quiet at times, and they would go on long losing streaks. And of course, it's early in the season, but it's nice to see that the bullpen's coming in, doing well, and the Yankees are punishing the Red Sox, because that is always a nice pastime and obviously great for us, especially after last year's kind of situation. But so far, my initial impressions: bullpen's awesome, slugging looks good, offense is solid. Starting pitching, I'm a little bit concerned, maybe even average, like a maybe a lot concerned, honestly. I don't know if I trust them yet. I need them to show me more. I need a couple weeks for these starters to show me that they're capable of being consistent before I'm ready to say I believe in them. But right now, it's too early for me to say that. I think a lot of people kind of are in the same boat, but Severino hitting triple digits with his fastball is freaking awesome. That is exactly what we want to be seeing. And if he can remain healthy, this will be a great comeback story for him. I'm really, really rooting for Sevy, and I'm sure everybody is as well. Garrett Cole, 4-minute difference to opening day delay. I don't know much about that, but it sounds a little crazy to me. But clearly, he's a very disciplined, very OCD type of guy. He needs everything to be perfect. And after that first inning, when he seemed to warm up, he was lights out. So maybe there's something to it. But I'm very curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the YouTube comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the opening process for the Yankees, opening day, and the first 2 wins of the season against Boston. Really excited for what's to come. One more game against Boston, and then we take on Toronto. Really exciting. Make sure to have a phenomenal day. As I said, make sure to like and subscribe below, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Fireside Yankees.